It's no secret that Donnie Dump has destroyed America. Everyone hates everyone, education and healthcare are in the shitter, and the only people who are thriving are billionaires and the first trillionaire, Elon Musk. How many zeros are in a trillion? Whatever. The point is, Trump has fucked up this country so badly that it'll take 2 entire generations to fix it, and that's only if all the 70 million boomer morons who voted for him magically die off before 2028. Fingers crossed. Otherwise, prepare for the next civil war. And I'm not hanging around to watch this one. So we're thinking about early retiring to Greece because travel blogs keep selling it like a Mediterranean cheat code. Cheap living, sunsets, wine, and your best life. Cool. Let's talk reality and what doesn't make the brochure. Start with the money. Not fantasy numbers. Real, livable, line item retirement math for 2 people who want comfort and decent healthcare access. There are other, less expensive ways to avoid deportation by Greece's ICE, but their golden visa is a residency by investment program that lets non-EU citizens live in Greece by purchasing qualifying real estate or making certain investments, most commonly property. The minimum investment now varies by location, with higher thresholds in prime areas like Athens and popular islands, and lower ones in less in-demand regions. But it typically starts in the hundreds of thousands of euros. In return, you and your spouse get renewable residency permits, the ability to travel freely within the Schengen zone, and no requirement to live in Greece full-time, making it popular with retirees and second home buyers. The trade-off is the upfront capital, ongoing property costs, and navigating Greek bureaucracy. But for Americans who want a long-term foothold in Europe without income-based visa requirements, it's one of the more straightforward paths. We're selling our big-ass American home to do the golden thing, and renting a much smaller condo in the States just in case it doesn't work out. In Greece, like anywhere else, we'll start off renting until we figure out where we want to be. Rent is the biggest variable. In Athens, or a desirable coastal city, expect 900 to 1,400 euros for a solid apartment in a good area. Go cheaper and you'll feel it. Utilities, internet, and phones run about 200 to 300 euros unless you treat a sea like oxygen, which is totally us. It's hot as Hades in the summer. Groceries land around 500 to 700 euros if you cook. Healthy food is cheaper in Europe. Dining, coffee, wine, and we've been sitting here for 3 hours and it's still lunch spending usually hits 300 to 500 euros. Transportation is cheap without a car, maybe 100 euros monthly. Own a car and you're closer to 300 to 500 euros. We're ditching our truck. Private health insurance for expats typically runs 250 to 600 euros a month, depending on age and coverage. And yes, you'll want it, even though the public system exists. Added up, and a comfortable monthly retirement budget lands around 2,400 to 3,600 euros. That's roughly $2,600 to $4,000 for those playing along at home. That's not influencer pricing. That's normal life, where surprise expenses don't ruin your week. Up front, you'll burn money getting settled. Flights, temporary housing, deposits, residency paperwork, translations, and insurance usually land between 10,000 euros and 18,000 euros, depending on how DIY you are versus hiring help. You need a runway, or the first few months will feel stressful. Now, where you'll actually live, because, there's definitely a difference between New York and Tampa, Greece isn't just one single vibe. Athens is the practical choice. Major hospitals, specialists, infrastructure, nonstop flights to the U.S., and neighborhoods that feel modern and livable. Also traffic, noise, and graffiti. It's not romantic, but it's functional. If healthcare access matters, this is where most retirees end up, whether they plan to or not. Thessaloniki is the balanced option. Lower cost than Athens, strong medical access, great food, waterfront living, and a slower, more relaxed energy. Still a real city, just without the capital city intensity. A lot of expats quietly pick this and never leave. Crete, especially Hania or Heraklion, is the postcard retirement. Beaches, sunshine, slower life, and a strong expat presence. Routine healthcare is fine, but for complex care, you may end up in Athens. If you're healthy, it feels like winning. If you want specialists 5 minutes away, it can feel remote. Now the stuff the blogs skip. Healthcare is good, but not fast unless you pay private. Crime is generally low, but petty theft exists anywhere in tourist zones, so we don't plan to wander around like a confused cruise passenger. Discrimination against Americans isn't a biggie, but you are still considered sus a foreigner. Language barriers, bureaucracy, and occasional "you must be rich" assumptions happen. If you manage to blend in, it mostly fades. We're starting Greek lessons this week. At our age, we'll never be fluent, but we hope to avoid a lot of side-eye. The real adjustment is pace. Greece moves slower. Paperwork takes time. Things close early. Conversations happen before transactions. Don't expect Amazon speed life. But if you lean into it, that becomes the reason you stay. Bottom line, we can live comfortably in Greece on about 2,800 euros a month, closer to 3,500 euros, with a cushion and travel. Athens is the healthcare first base. Thessaloniki is the lifestyle sweet spot. And Crete is the dream if you're still fairly healthy and want scenery over convenience. We're deciding between Thessaloniki and Crete. We've lived in Orlando, Philly, and DC, so we're over the big city thing. We realize it's not a permanent vacation. It's a trade. We're swapping American intensity for slower systems, lower daily expenses, and a life built around food, sunlight, and time. Some people thrive. Some last 6 months. We don't know where we'll land. Either way, we're going to get the fuck out of here before the next civil war breaks out. Watching it unfold on cable will be great entertainment for sure. Look, if I've learned anything over the past few years, I've learned it's always good to have options. Exercising options. Maybe you should too.